Bodega. It was called the Bodega. And Seth Killian was there, and it was like a early release of Vanilla SF4.
Oh yeah.
And we got to play it. And
I remember
they were giving out these shirts, and I still have mine. They gave us this shirt, energy drink with Ken that's called Dragon Punch.
I wasn't there, man. Like, I was just in Japan, you know, with my 20 billion Street Fighter 4 cabinets, and I'm like, haha, you guys can only play one cabinet for months.
So that's where this shirt is from. I forgot the name of that event. Fight Club.
Oh yeah, Fight Club.
Yeah, Fight Club. Yeah, it was the first. It was the first Fight Club in New York, and it was called the Bodega. It was it was really in a bodega, in a basement of a bodega.
Yo, that is bringing it back. Yo, I have so many arcade memories from me playing in bodegas and like fearing for my life, either fearing for my life or, you know, having to leave because people would turn off the arcade machine because I started throwing them too much.
Yeah,
and like, I didn't respect the rules at the time. I didn't know better.
Yeah,
I was just a kid, yo.
Yeah, I remember back in the, like, because they used to have arcades. Like, a lot of people don't know that. They used to have arcade machines in laundromats, video stores, bodegas, like, everywhere. Anywhere you go, they had at least a Street Fighter 2 machine.
Imagine, like, being in New York City and walking on the block. There's a Street Fighter 2 machine everywhere.
Yeah, and
every block.
Yeah, and I remember in the Marvel vs. Capcom 1 days, you know how they had like easy mode?
That was the late bodega days though.
Yeah.
That was a late that was a different era.
The tail end, the tail end of the
No, actually the tail end of the bodega days is Marvel 2 because you know Dead Cell.
Yeah.
Dead Cell came from the bodega, like Smooth Viper and those guys.
So I remember in the Marvel 1 days, they like all the gangster and ghetto kids would play on easy mode and they would just pick Wolverine.
There's so many gangsters.
Yeah. And if you didn't play, if you knew air combos and stuff, they would get tight, and they would taunt mid combo, like while they would press your taunt button, and if you had to let it rock, or else they'll beat you up.
That's crazy that the late '90s were like that because by that time, you know, Capcom had nerfed throw ranges to the point where they were almost useless. Yeah. So there's really no reason for people to be bitching, but yeah.
But, you know, like Marvel 1, I remember that vividly, man. I would see the kids that would be losing. They would press the other kid's start button, and then be like, you gotta hold this super right now, yo.
Dude, man, yo, fighting game community. Yeah, no more gangsters in FGC unless like you're a player. Then it's okay.
Yeah.
Because at least the players that are gangsters have enough sense to not blow it up like in front of the crowd. Yeah. At least most of the time. I would hope so.
Yeah, and like I remember, like the kids that were good, they would. The
kids that were good, they were always either like the random Asian that everybody hated, or like the ghetto thug that like was just like all bling bling, right? Yeah. With like gold teeth and shit, and but you still had to abide by the rules. Like you know, if you didn't follow his code of honor, even though he was the best guy in the arcade, he would still fuck you up.
Yep.
Yeah, he would still fuck.
But like I remember, like let's say there was the good kids. Sometimes they would only play good against each other because if they would play like a gangster kid, they weren't allowed to play at max at their max.
You can't play at max, you know, because they would come over with their posse, and then you know you had to be savvy enough. You see, if you were one of those cornballs that live in the suburbs and you went to the nickel arcades back then, I'm talking like early '90s, like back then. You didn't know any better. So, you know, you would come in, play your best, and then you get fucked up. Right? The savvy kids, like in the bodegas, like all the kids that used to play back then, like, you know, they would try their hardest, like, you know, when their friends were around. And then when the gangsters would come in, nah. You gotta let them win.
No more combos.
No more combos, yeah. No more combos. It's true, man.
No more technology, no more combos.
I'm just saying, because like a lot of the kids in the suburbs, like they were at Family Fun arcades back then. Like I know, like I spent some summers in Oregon. I was in Beaverton actually. There was an arcade, nickel arcade called Wonderland. Yeah. I used to go to when I was like 10 or something. It was way different than like the arcades in the inner city and stuff. You know, people were nice, friendly, respectful, white. Etc. You know?
I like that.
I throw it out there. I throw it out. And then, like in the bodega arcades, you would get better, but you gotta watch your back, son.
Yeah, you definitely did have to watch your back.
I got maced, had a gun pulled on me, all this sort of stuff. It was fun though. Like, I'm not gonna.
Luckily for me, I never got beat up because I was a little young, so I wasn't allowed to always be in the arcades. But I remember one time in when Tekken Tag came out, and I used to know the linkers, the link throws with King.
Yeah.
And I did the entire rolling Corrado on a kid, and he got so mad that he pushed me, and I had a bubble jacket, like the one that had the goose down feathers inside, and he slashed it and spread all the feathers outside.
Oh, shit. That's a blow.
So I had to go home in the snow.
Oh, man.
With no jacket.
Yo, that's definitely like a crying Brian moment.
Just a sweater.
Yeah. If you cried, I would have blamed you.
Yeah.
I would have blamed you. Yeah. Yo. So I got maced for getting some perfects like on the Asian Thugs in Mortal Kombat 3. I was picking Cyrax, and like I was just blowing it up with 100% combos. MK 3.0, by the way.
Yeah.
Not 3.1 or like Ultimate, where like they toned it down. But yeah. I got maced for that. Somebody pulled a gun on me for me giving them Mercy in Mortal Kombat 3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I gave him Mercy, and I still beat them. And then I tried to do like animality or something, and like, he wasn't feeling that, yo. He's like, yo, get the fuck out of the store. Right? Yeah. Pull the gun on my head.
Yeah, it used to be real back then.
It used to be real.
It was real back then, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yo, Stream Monsters, are you guys enjoying the story, or should we talk about the match? I'm very sorry, because I know this is pretty far in the tournament.
Yeah.
Let me know, guys.
I'm sure they don't mind the story.
Yeah.
They see these matches often, so.
All right, story time. All right. Yeah. Oh, man. Like, yo, did you ever go to Playland back in the day?
Nah.
You never? Oh, man.
Yeah, I never went to.
Neither Broadway nor Times Square?
Nah.
You never went? Oh, wow.
The
You
only
don't know
really
about
big
that.
arcades I went to were in Brooklyn. There was an arcade called Fulton Family Arcade.
Yeah.
And that's Sanford used to go there sometimes. And
oh, yeah. Actually, Geron, like all those guys, Sanford and Geron actually come from the same place.
Yeah.
They come from the same place.
Yeah. It was an arcade.
They were actually playing in the Bronx before I met them at Chinatown Fair.
Yeah.
And they didn't know until like the late 2000s. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was Fulton Family Arcade, and it was on Fulton Street in Brooklyn, under the J train. The stop was the Crescent Street stop, I believe.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys used to play there. Like I don't know if you remember Lawrence.
Oh, Lawrence Carr?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Lawrence Carr.
Do you remember O'Dwayne Campbell?
Yeah, I remember
O'Dwayne Campbell used to play there.
Yeah.
Sean, that he became later. He later became a Tekken player, but
Fab?
No, not Sean Swain. Sean, he was a black kid. He used to play Sentinel back in Marvel 2.
Oh,
and then he became
actually like did Sanford's brother play there? 'Cause I know Sanford's brother is a huge Tekken fan. He used to play fighting games back in the day.
Yeah, maybe I played him there, but I didn't know that he was Sanford's brother.
His brother looks just like him, and he has Sanford's attitude like when it comes to fighting games back then.
Oh,
back then. Yeah, back then.
Wow. But yeah, there was a lot of guys that used to play at Fulton Family.
Yeah, Family's definitely a place I heard. But yeah, I'm surprised that you never had a chance to go to Broadway. There are some legendary stories that come out of that arcade. Broadway, like I bet you get Jazz on the mic, like you be talking about that shit for days. Oh, sorry, Sanford. Sanford looked at us. He was like trying to DP, but we're in story mode.
Yeah.
We got in story mode.
Yeah.
So let me tell you about Playland, Javik. So Playland was a 24-hour arcade in the heart of Times Square.
Oh wow!
And this was before the gentrification era. Because you know how Times Square is all cleaned up now.
Yeah, it used to be real bad on the west side.
Yeah, but even in the middle of the gentrification era, there was still Playland there until like I think like 99, 98, something like that. But anyway, yeah, 24-hour arcade. It was legendary. Like, I was told as a kid not to go there because Times Square was dangerous or whatever. Yeah. I finally went there like when I was in junior high school. I made the mistake of going there at like 9 in the morning.
Yeah.
I actually met Norman Burgess there. I was playing KO at 9 in the morning, and Norman Burgess at that time, he was already 18, yo. And he was there chilling with Aiko.
Yeah.
And the truant cops came in and blew me up, yo. Yo. At the time, I was going to Catholic school, so I was wearing a Catholic school uniform.
Yeah.
And then, of course, that's an easy target. So they were like, yeah, come here, son. Get lit up. I ran the ID, and then Norman just laughed at me like when I got escorted out of the arcade.
Wow. Yeah, Norman later went on to work at CF, right?
Yeah, he did. But yeah, Playland was pretty legendary, man. Like that's like one of the last few bastions of places back in the day. I know like a lot of the SRK guys went down to Playland back in the day. Tragic, Mr. Wizard, like those guys. There's some history there, man, for sure. There's a lot of Mortal Kombat location tests.
Yeah.
And of course there were a lot of gangsters. People did get smashed through the Playland window for throwing other people.
Yeah.
It was pretty rough in there.
Yep.
Like
it wasn't all fun and games back in the day, man.
It sounds like I have nothing but bad things to say about the arcade scene, but that's not true. Like you know, when I talk about these stories, like, you know, even though it sounds fucked up at the time, like, I had a lot of fun back then in my childhood. Even though there's stories where I almost got maced or shot or whatever. Like, it was a lot of fun.
Man, for taking it 3-0 over Zeus.
Good stuff. King, Sanford. Yeah, dude, it was the best childhood ever, man. Like, it's like, you don't know how fun it was back in the day. Like, you know, when you had no idea about tournaments or anything. To walk in your neighborhood and walk around. Just go from, like, random bodegas.